DNVR Broncos live coming to you from the DNVR Bar here at the corner of Colfax and York. And just another day, another big guest on the show, Zach.
Another big time guest. Alexis Perry, let's go.
Let's go.
What's up, guys?
Broncos Country was clamoring to have you back, and they get their wish.
You know, it's funny that you guys had Jimmy Palm Trees on here yesterday, because those are some pretty tough shoes to fill. So I might just take mine off here in a little bit and just not even try.
I'll tell you what, I would like to see Jimmy Palm Trees try to fill those shoes.
Try to fill these ones?
Yes.
For a whole day.
Careful there.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck, Jimmy. I
Yeah.
know. No, that was so fun to be out today, like just seeing everyone. And I told him it felt like a little bit of a reunion, getting to hang out with all my old friends and Denver media and all the fans.
Last night and this morning, Alexis was like, I'm really nervous. Are people gonna like this? Do I know enough Broncos? And within 30 minutes of her reposting, quote tweeting our quote this morning, saying that she's on board for training camp, her tweet had like 400 likes.
Yep.
And then I was staying next to her at camp, and just every single person was coming up to be like, oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. And I know the comment section is just going to blow up as well. So yes, Alexis, everyone loves you. We're
Thank
happy you're on
you.
board.
No, and shout out to all of my new followers.
Oh,
all the
let's
DNVR.
go.
You got the
Cool
DNVR
followers.
bump?
The DNVR bump was big. So
Let's go.
big hello to everyone who I've never met before and interacted with on the, is it X, Twitter? What are we on now? What do we call this
We're
thing?
calling it Twitter.
Twitter.
Are we just
Yeah.
calling it Twitter?
Yeah.
Sorry, Elon. It's just Twitter. I can't wait to interact with everyone and get to know everyone.
Well, let's catch people up a little bit on you. What
Yeah.
have you been doing since you've been on a little hiatus from sports?
Yeah, I retired for a quick hot second. I golfed my butt off this summer.
How's your game?
Dude, it's pretty good.
Let's go.
Like, I wish I could be more humble and be like, it's, it's a work in progress. But no, I improved a ton this summer.
Let's go.
So
That's the
You
that
gotta,
was really fun.
you gotta stop there. Ryan's gonna take a nice hiatus for 6
Yeah,
months
I
next,
know. I
Yeah.
next year.
He's like,
Be
what?
gone and have
Think
a
I'm gonna
great golf
retire,
game.
guys.
Yeah, the golf game was sweet. I went out to Arizona, played a little bit out there. I should have stopped by
PHNX,
that offices. Yeah, why not? But yeah, no, then I came back and I took on this really awesome role as president of production and business development with a local production company called
Big
Elevation
time.
Digital Media. So
Nice.
that's been fun. I mean, totally different, right? You go from sports to kind of the corporate world. So we do everything from Super Bowl commercials to TikTok videos. So we're all over the place in terms of production. And I also started my own company called the Orem Group.
Whoa.
I'm the founder of that. It's a lifestyle management company. So yeah, I'm
Wow.
busy as a little bee. Still writing over there, golf content for Mile High Sports. I'm just, you can find me anywhere in town. Really.
Can you help me manage my lifestyle? I just like drink and watch sports.
Yeah, no, I can make sure that you've got everything from Breck Brew filled in the fridge. I'm sure you already do that anyways.
Yeah, they actually
like-
helped me with that, which is
Yeah,
great.
exactly. No, it's been really fun. Have a few, premier clients that we're taking care of. And
That's awesome.
yeah, it's different, but it's
Dang.
fun. Yeah.
Well, we're honored that
Managing
you're
a
spending
lifestyle.
some time here.
I'm happy to be here. Honestly, I was telling everyone, I'm like, these are some of the coolest people I know in town. You guys are I think Broncos beat. And to be
yeah.
invited,
Let's go.
I'm excited to be here.
As many people said on Twitter, dream team.
Dream
Yeah,
team.
Yeah, let's go.
Broncos A to Z, baby.
Yeah, let's go. Let's not be the Eagles' dream team of like 15 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
though. Yeah, all the hype just to be like 8 wins.
Yeah.
No one remembers that Vince Young was the quarterback of that team.
Yeah, well, because no one remembers what they did.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, remember that Eagles dream team? Vince Young was the quarterback. People are like, Vince Young wasn't the quarterback. You're
People
thinking of
think like
Michael
Mike
Vick.
Vick.
I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
it was Vince Young.
Well, thankfully, Zach's the quarterback of this.
Oh, geez.
dream
Hopefully,
team
I'm
right
not
here.
Vince Young. That's a
See,
lot of pressure. on
Yaya
me.
just did the same thing. He thinks
He's
we're wrong.
fact checking you right
Really?
now too. Put that mic on. Put that mic on. You hear?
Yeah.
There we go.
You believe us?
I just didn't even remember that Mike Vick was
You mean Vince Young?
Vince
Young.
Young was in the Eagles.
Yeah.
You know-
it was short-lived.
Yeah.
Worth forgetting. It's
But-
worth forgetting.
Everyone thought it was going to
insane.
be sick. They like spent $100 million something in
Yep.
the off season, and
Yep.
Yeah.
we didn't spend quite that much. So our dream team's fine.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
what
this is
Sean Payton wants to avoid this year.
Yes.
He doesn't want a dream team label. He doesn't want the pomp going around, the celebrations before practice even starts. And practice started today. Do you know the cross streets, Ryan?
Compete Street and Denver Broncos Parkway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Broncos Parkway. Too nice to throw Denver in there. Yeah, it would be
true.
like technically like Centennial Broncos Parkway.
Yeah.
But also, the sign that says Compete Street doesn't say compete with a little ST in the corner as it should. It says Compete Street as the street name. So it could be like Compete Street Avenue.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what they've got there? They don't have it bolted in, the exact sign on top. They're going to be switching that out throughout the year.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
that. That's inside scoop.
A new addition to Compete Street, they now have padding around it, around the pole itself, which makes me
So
think
I
like
don't hurt
some
myself?
media members must have already done that. So you wouldn't be the first one.
We're 1 or 3 days in. We're still not sure, but like somebody's already just stubbed
Yeah.
their toe and complained. That's so funny.
They're so worried about us suing them.
Oh, yeah, it's especially $70 billion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now the money to sue is like, what a bit more.
Dang, I got to stub my toe on Compete Street.
That's the name of my new podcast, Stub Toe on Compete Street.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
love that.
Okay, so we are going to lead off our Broncos talk every day
Let's go.
with the, what's it called again?
It is called the
How Back
How
is Russ.
Back is
All right, it
Russ.
didn't have its own name. So, how back is Russ today?
How
Zach?
back is Russ? Let's dial it up. Drum roll. Yeah, here, hit it. Oh. Oh. It's stopping there.
That's
It's stopping at the start. It's
We're-
stopping at
Oh,
Let's
gosh.
Ride Russ.
Or now go Broncos, Russ.
Oh yeah, go Broncos, Russ. He has dropped Let's Ride because Let's Ride was so bad that you never want to be Let's Ride Russ again, right?
Yeah.
And that's where we're falling on day one of Broncos training camp. Day 1, day 3. And this isn't just me. I fact checked it around. Russ it wasn't like the very worst pot. He didn't throw like 17 interceptions, but it was as bad of a start for Russ to camp as you really could have had.
Yeah.
damn.
It was underwhelming, I think, to say the least. It was nice to see him using his legs a little bit, but
Yep.
at the end of the day, is that in the playbook or is that because he can't find an open receiver? I'm not totally sure exactly what's going on there. But I mean, if scrambling Russ is in the playbook, we all know that he's good at making plays with his legs, but I don't know. That was
Already a great addition, Alexis,
Jarrett
because she starts off with the positive. We say there's pretty much no hope with Russ today, and she
Jarrett-
finds the one
just gonna say-
glimmer of
the
hope.
I was just going to say,
Glimmer.
Alexis, you don't work for the Broncos anymore.
I
You don't have
know.
to spin for that.
Unleash the beast. That is me. No, I know it's gonna be hard to. Sorry in advance to everyone. It's gonna take me a second to kind of stop spinning into the pot. Think about this. I've been spinning for 10 years.
Yeah.
The Nuggets, the Avs, and then the Broncos for 4 years, and
Gotta be-
they had some
gotta be dizzy
pretty tough
from all
years.
that spinning.
Yeah. I throw up. No, it's been a fun decade just kind of in Denver sports and having to spin a little bit. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, I think as a Broncos fan, I would like to see Russ use his legs a little bit
Yeah,
more.
absolutely.
But yeah, I would like it to be intentional.
It's a really good point. And let's just start off with Russ's legs
Sure.
because we saw him move more today and run than we saw all of training camp last year.
I thought you were going to say they're
And-
slimmer
well,
or bigger, or what does he want them to be?
yeah, it's a great question.
The obsession with Russ's body right now is really funny.
He was asked about his
He does
body.
look great.
He does look good, but how
So do
often
you.
are we going to ask about
you.
it? He was asked about it. Do I need to get out of here?
No.
No,
Please,
okay.
keep going.
He was asked about it in the offseason, gave the same answer. I'm not going to comment on my weight, but I've had the best offseason of my life.
Yeah.
Exact same answer today, and you can see it. I mean, he does look good, and that is very intentional. Remember, what did he do for the first 10 years in Seattle? He ran.
Yes.
And so that's what he wanted to do. What did he do last year? Nathaniel Hackett came in. Russell Wilson came in and said, I want to play 10 to 12 more years. You can't really do that running around.
Yeah.
And Nathaniel Hackett said, I want you to be a pass first quarterback, a pass second quarterback. I only want you to run in dire situations. So pretty much last training camp, Russ was told, do not run in camp because we don't want you to practice that. We want you to practice going read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then I guess run.
That was probably the first step in the wrong direction of what some would say is the worst coaching job in NFL history.
You want to backtrack that?
No,
Okay,
I'm not going to
okay,
backtrack it. It's kind of like screenshots never die.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like you said it, so you have to stand on it forever. Your backtrack didn't go nearly as viral.
Nope.
If you go back and watch the film of Russ last year, there are so many times where his internal clock is off, and it's because of that, in my opinion. They wanted him to become a pocket passer, so he's thinking like, okay, like, do I still have time to look to another read? Do I still have time? And there were so many different times where he ends up just like crumbling in the pocket because he's trying to look through there. Go back to Seattle, he's just like read, run.
Yeah.
And he's going to keep his eyes downfield when he runs. He's one of the best ever at doing that. Get out of the pocket, keep your eyes downfield, and if it's there, let it go. If not, he's a top 5 quarterback all time in rushing yards.
Yeah.
So taking that away from him was honestly taking away half his game. Like, he was a dual threat quarterback, and I think you saw him do things that you never saw him do in Seattle, which is just like, I'm holding on. All right, the whole pocket has now collapsed around me. I'm just going to hit the ground.
Guys, remember that Panthers game?
Yeah. I actually don't remember any games from last year.
You just erase them from your mind. Yeah, vividly that Panthers game sticks out as, we should do a crumble count on how many times Russ.
We need a
just
sponsorship from the cookies
crumble
first.
count. Yeah, right. I am looking forward to seeing just his mindset. I always think back to last year and knowing that, his life coach, a mentor of his who he worked with a lot, just some of the little things that I think kind of played into where he was at. Then obviously add on the new coaching staff, Nathaniel Hackett, and really I think Russ trying to take control over everything. And I think it's so great to have a guy like Sean Payton in there who's like, all right, Russ, like, you're good and all, but like, I'm Sean effing Payton,
Yep.
But yeah, the crumbling and the running is just, I don't know.
And
It's
so,
nice to see it more intentional.
instead of crumbling today and trying to go through 5 reads, Russ took off after 1, 2, take off. And he did that a couple of times, probably would have racked up 40 rushing yards today. And really had his best run was at the end of practice when the first read wasn't there, but the left tackle and left guard had really split wide open. Boom, he just took off right away. And that's something Nathaniel Hackett would have said, don't do. Stay in the pocket, go through your reads. And Sean Payton is encouraging that. And after practice, Sean Payton said, that's Russell Wilson. We want to see that. And then Russ even said, yeah, you're going to see me run more this year. And we're focused on Russell Wilson not playing 10 or 12 more years.
Yeah.
We're focused on Russell Wilson playing in week 9
Or
and
just
making it
being
through this
good.
season. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So he should not worry about longevity in terms of trying to not get hit as much. He was hit more than any other quarterback last year. He led the league in sacks last year.
Yeah. My question for Henry, if he was here, would have been, is the speed back? Because he was like the first one to point it out last year. He's like, when Russ scrambles, and this was training camp, he's like, he looks really slow.
Yeah.
Did it feel like his foot speed was back a little bit?
He's not going to be the fastest quarterback in the NFL.
But is he faster than he was last year?
He's
I think it's
faster.
because he's in better shape, though.
Yeah.
I think last year, especially during training camp, I think we all vividly remember the dad bod that was
Yep.
Russell Wilson. He is not dealing with the dad bod this year. So, like, the fact that he doesn't have that extra weight to carry, I feel like he is a little bit more agile. Again, though, I completely agree with Zac. Like, he also just, at the end of the day, looks like he's kind of in slow motion. So,
Yeah, he looks like he's, 34?
yeah, he is what he is.
He looks like a very mobile 34-year-old quarterback, which means he's going to be able to move in the backfield a lot. And he's going to be able to pick up 5, 10 yards often, but probably not much more than that. But you don't need much more than that because you're getting positive yards instead of a sack, instead of a strip sack. Enough about the positives on the ground because those were positives. And that's where Russell Wilson got his positives from today. The day started off with 7-on-7s. And it started off with really a great play from Damari Mathis. Russ tried to hit, I don't remember who it was, on the outside for about a 10-yard completion. Damari Mathis made a great break on it, broke it up, but not the best start for the offense. But still, it was a great play by Damari Mathis. And then the rest of practice, I don't know if Russell Wilson had a completion longer than 10 yards. 7 yards. Now, a lot of that was by design. a lot of that was, and I think this is just a little bit of what we should expect this year, we're not going to see deep ball Russ as much as we thought we were going to. He's not going to be moon ball Russ. In fact, in a lot of one-on-one individual drills today, it's just one day, he was way off on deep balls. And so I think Sean, he wants to take him off the high dive. He said that earlier this year, right? And one of those things is making quick, easy reads 5 yards down the field, and then let the receivers do the work after.
Yep.
And so getting the ball out quick, that's what we saw a lot of today.
You ever go off the high dive? High dive guy?
Yeah, once, until I think I told you my friend was climbing up it and slipped and broke his arm because he fell just straight on the concrete.
Off the ladder.
Yeah, off the ladder. Yeah,
Damn.
so I think I might have gone, the day before him, and then I was like, nah, I'm good.
Alexis, were you on like the diving team?
No, absolutely not. I value my life. Are you kidding?
I went off the high dive like once or twice. One of them, I don't even know how. I just ended up belly flopping and knocking the wind out of myself, and that was it for me.
That would end your career. In high school freshman football, there was, of course, we were on the freshman fields, which is the shittiest fields, and there was a pole right in the corner of the end zone. And I was a receiver looking for the ball, ran right into it. I just got the wind knocked out of me.
You're so lucky that's all that happened to you.
I know, but I thought my life was over. Getting the wind knocked out of you, truly, it is like the worst thing for like 2 minutes.
And then you're underwater.
Yes, that's dangerous.
You should have sued him.
That's dangerous.
I wish we were talking about him being dangerous today, because that would be a step above.
Yeah.
Let's ride Russ.
So it still doesn't sound like we're on a 1 for Russ, right? Like, we've talked about some positives, talked about a lot of checkdowns, but he was missing even a lot of checkdowns. The defense obviously typically starts off training camp a lot hotter than the offense. So that we do have to put that in there. And there's a lot of caveats that are going to make Russ's 1 not seem as bad, or his let's ride seem as bad. But he was missing a lot of short throws. He was behind Greg Dulcich on one of them.
That's the one.
And then he also, there was this play in team where Jeudy, simple slant, wide open, there's no linebacker there, 5 yards down the field, middle of the field, and everyone, the pass was so short, everyone thought that had to be tipped, right? And so all the media members are talking, and everyone's like, that had to be tipped, but no one saw it tipped. And so it's just like, what?
He was off today. It's not great that the first official day of camp, Jarrett Stidham is, the quarterback that caught my eye. That's for sure.
And this is leading me to an interesting question. Is Russ having like performance anxiety? Because yesterday, when there was no one there, James came in here and said, I thought Russ looked great today.
Yeah.
And then today, there's fans on the hill, and Russ is like tightening up. Is there like a mental block in there for him right now?
Wouldn't you have one a little bit? Like, I feel like that's human. Like, having the season that he had last year.
This guy got booed at the Nuggets game at the finals.
It's brutal. And he knows that this fan base is passionate and that they care. And so he can't sweet talk them into loving him and supporting him. They're going to judge him based off of his performance on the field. And I think he so badly just wants to be, dangerous.
Yeah.
And because I think he internally probably knows that he's just not quite there yet. He's probably not comfortable.
Yeah.
He's only this is going to be his second season in Denver, and he has an entirely new staff around him, entirely new ownership. The building's even different than when he first came in. It's like, I don't know. I think he's uncomfortable, and he will get comfortable over time. It's just, I feel like what he's probably going through is so human.
No, totally.
And like, as much as you would think that an athlete who has his accolades and is, on this stage would be able to just get over it and just ignore it. I mean, when the entire city, nation, world shit talked you for an entire year and still don't believe in you, I mean, God, gotta kind of give the guy a break.
And that's why, and I'm not like blaming anyone for this, but that's why when I came back from that Nuggets game, I was like, we can't do this, guys. Like, he needs like
support,
love. He needs some TLC.
I don't want to hug him.
For real. Like, I'm just worried about that, because when I hear yesterday looked great, today looked terrible, I'm like, oh, great. The fans were out there, and he was like, like Alexis said, he wants so badly for you to be able to come on the show and be like, I think Russ turned the corner.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like almost he wants it too much, and he's a little nervous about what everyone's going to think. And it is just one day, so I don't want to spiral things out of control. But it's almost more of a bummer that this happened on day one. Even if he just looked normal, you know, it would have been fine. But for him to kind of look bad just worries me about the mental aspect. And it's one of the things that maybe is so underrated when it comes to an athlete's performance is like, what are they dealing with mentally? But he's been dealing with a lot. He's never been used to not being liked.
No.
Yeah.
And this city is as out on him as you could possibly be. Like, everyone at best is in like I'm cautiously optimistic about Russ. Everyone else behind that is out on Russ, or I'm not going to have a positive thought until he proves it to me.
Russell Wilson has never been bad.
No.
In his life. So he's never dealt with fans turning on him. He's never dealt with having to have a restoration season, as we're calling it. And he's never had to have that. And so that's a different place for him. And additionally, a bombshell article drops yesterday with so many different headlines. But the main point from Sean was, I'm putting my support behind you. So even a little extra thing on Russ. But then also, yesterday's practice and Wednesday's practice weren't like today's practice. Today's practice was different.
It was football.
It was football. And the last 2 days haven't really, they've been 75%. Today was football. And so the two best plays of practice, or the best play and the worst play from Russ from practice, the best play from a fan's perspective was a lot of pressure on him. He takes off and runs 70 yards for a touchdown.
He sacked.
He would have been sacked, yeah.
He was sacked.
By Zac Allen. Zac Allen.
Sack Allen.
Yeah, Sack Allen. It probably would have been a strip sack because it was coming from behind. So that, if you were at practice, that was not a touchdown. It was a sack. So his best play was the one I told you about, when he takes off probably 10 or 15 yards, that run up the middle. And we're talking about a 10-yard run being his best play of practice. That's kind of why we're looking at a 1. Nowhere close to any touchdowns that he threw. Like I said, his longest completion was maybe 10 yards. And then near the end of practice, which is typically the most important time of practice, the last period of team, Russell Wilson tried to find Greg Dulcich down the middle seam, and he was smothered. Justin Simmons was all over him. Justin jumps the route right when the ball's there, goes right through Justin's hand. So it should have been a pick there.
Yep.
Goes up in the air, and Caden Sterns is maybe in the area, and he flies, extending, diving catch, one-handed with his left hand, comes down with it. We had the clean angle.
I have no
it was
idea
a pick.
how he got there.
No, it was like, I was like, Caden, don't even try to jump for this because you're just so far away. And somehow Caden made an incredible play.
Yeah.
But it was a pick by Russ, not because of like a weird deflection, but like Justin Simmons could have picked it off before.
Unsurprisingly, the DBs were, the highlight of today's practice. They always are, I feel like. But really cool to see Caden Sterns stepping up on a really big stage. I think all eyes are on him. He knows that this is a big year for him with Kareem, and, what his role is going to be like this year, kind of up in the air. And I think he's really wanting to prove to people, and I'm sure he probably wants to be in the news a little more, right? Like, he wants people probably talking about him a little more. And he's made so many great plays in the times that he has been in games, but we haven't seen him consistently. So for him to come out today, such a strong start from him, and this is a huge year for him. He knows that. Like, he's trying to grab that money back here at the end of it. And I think, it was such a teeny tiny little sample size, but it was one of the most athletic things I've seen as of late.
Yeah, it's very true. And that's all that Caden Sterns does. When he plays, he's
makes so
plays.
athletic.
He's so athletic. He's fast. He's explosive.
Yeah.
I love that Justin said the other day that he's extremely smart.
Yep.
And I think I said this, I don't know, about a month ago now, or maybe even longer than that. Like, this defensive staff loves him. So he might have a chance to secure that bag. And it would be awesome to just have like another breakout player on the defensive side of the ball. Someone in the comments brought up an interesting thing, just about the offensive line. And they were saying, well, why is it Russ's fault getting sacked? Why isn't that on the offensive line? I'm not really all that interested in that. I'm just curious. A lot has been made about this offensive line. How'd they look today?
Well, let's talk about that, because I said there were some things that we'll give Russ some credit, take some blame off of him. But I got to tell you about our friends over at Game Time first. Use that code DNVR over at Game Time. You're going to get $20 off when you sign up. Download that Game Time app. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. And Game Time's guarantee means that if you find tickets in the same section and row for less somewhere else, Game Time's going to credit you 110% of the difference. So when you go there, peace of mind when you go on Game Time, and you get $20 off. So go to the App Store, download Game Time, use that code DNVR when you sign up to get $20 off your first purchase.
There you go. Also, got to shout out my second home, Circa Resort in Las Vegas.
You've been killing it out there.
I know. I feel like I need to go back.
You do.
Like, I'm like, oh, it's the weekend. Better head back to Vegas. This place is so sick. First of all, 3-level sports book. So you've got like the stadium seating. Then you've got like another set of seats up here. Then a second level that you can sit up and watch games from. Then you have Stadium Swim, which is basically a second sports book. This one just has a pool and like blackjack tables around it and everything. And then you've got all these incredible restaurants. You could honestly go to Circa, never go outside into the sun once for a week, eat a great meal 3 times a day, and have a good time the entire time.
But can't you also go out in the sun and it's an incredible experience at Circa?
Totally.
Yeah.
You could.
I'm just saying, like, people complain about the heat there. You don't have to deal with the heat. Like,
That's true.
There's a restaurant there called 8 East. They have brisket fried rice.
Oh, talk dirty.
One of the best meals I've had all summer.
Whoa.
They also had short rib dumplings. Like,
It sounds
goodness.
so heavy for Vegas.
I know.
Because it's so hot. Like, here's the highlight of my summer. At the airport, DIA,
Oh, yeah.
about to get on a flight going to Vegas with one of my friends. And all of a sudden, I hear a AP. And I look back, and it's just Ryan and Allie, like, on the walking escalator, just like...
The best part is from my angle. I was like, Alexis. And, like, you looked a little bit towards me, but since I was moving on, you, like, didn't get there. I was like, no, further. It was, like, looked like a sprinkler head, like, making her way to finally get over
I was like, what's up, guys? Where are you going? They're like, Vegas, we're safe. And then I didn't see you the whole time because
I
you
know.
didn't leave.
Yeah, we were Circa, back to the basketball arena, back to Circa.
I didn't see a single summer league game when I was there.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
we got a bum cable.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry.
That call to action.
So,
Yeah.
so make sure to check out our friends of Ryan's second home over at Circa Resort and Casino. Download the app, circasports.com. Circa Sports, you can bet, make bets as well. And if you want to check out the casino, head out to Vegas for the Broncos-Raiders game in the beginning of January. Maybe Knights Avs, Pac-12 for one last season. Book your stay with the code DNVR20 to get 20% off, so you can make it your home for 20% off.
I'm probably going to do that, actually. What's interesting is I will get the flow of this show the more I'm on it. Like, didn't even let you get your call to action in. I'm, like, jumping in.
Oh, you're good.
Sharing a DIA story. But, hey, now hopefully your mic works. Are you back?
We are actually famous for just, like, integrating stories into ad reads and then realizing we haven't
Done the
finished
call
them
to
yet.
action.
Yep.
Yeah, love that.
Henry, especially.
It was hot in Vegas, that trip.
I thought you were going to say it's hot today.
Okay, well, I don't even want to talk about how toasty it was out there today.
It's only 95. That's like 20 degrees cooler than
It's
than it is
true.
in Vegas.
I'm just not in, like, training camp shape yet, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I feel like by the end of it, we're all just like, oh, it's only 101, like, bring on the heat.
Yep.
But, yeah, no, it was miserable.
Speaking of hot, I'm going to put you both on the hot seat right now. I told you I wasn't going to do this, Alexis, but I'm going to put Ryan on the hot seat as
do
well.
it.
You're
Okay.
both on the hot seat.
Okay.
So you talked about offensive line.
Really quick. Chad in the comments said, where can I find info on
Oh.
the Chicago trip? Yeah, can you put the link in the description? Yesterday you put the wrong link.
Come on,
Oh,
you
yeah,
here.
When I'm being told to do things on the fly with no link to actually, I
one
look for my own
job.
link.
All right, I'll get you the link next time Zach talks.
Wow. Well, I'm talking right now.
Okay,
But no,
keep
no,
talking.
no, no, no.
Oh, but
'Cause
I'm
you're
on the
hot
spot. I'm on the
seat.
hot seat.
Yes, you're on the hot seat. So I mentioned the offensive line. Already some issues. Now, maybe not the biggest issues, but Russell Wilson during team period had a backup right tackle and a backup left tackle.
Yeah.
What?
So his starting tackles, Garrett Bowles, who's getting paid $18 million a year, and his right tackle, Mike McGlinchey, who's getting paid $17.5 million per year, both out. It's probably going to hurt the offensive line, probably going to hurt Russ. So that we do have to point that out, that he did not have Mike McGlinchey's second personal day in a row. I think he's going to be back. I know what it is, but he's going to be back. He's okay, just taking care of some personal things. So not a big issue for the future, but he wasn't out there today. And then Garrett Bowles, they're slowly working him back. Remember Sean Payton's comments 2 days ago on Javonte Williams said, anyone who had a major injury last year, we're going to slowly work him back. Garrett Bowles broke his leg last year. That's a pretty big injury. So they're slowly working him back. He didn't practice in the team period. So
he kind of made his way out at the end of practice. He rejoined his team. Yep. It's not like he was in the locker room.
Right,
but
right.
Yeah,
Exactly. He was at practice with his team, but not practicing. So I'm going to throw some names out there. And you tell me if this is the Broncos starting left tackle or if today, or if this is someone that's not on the Broncos.
Okay. Now, it should be known, I did 2 podcasts today.
No,
just listen.
Okay.
I was in a meeting right after that, and then I was helping our new social director create something after that. So what my point is, I haven't been on Twitter. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen the press conferences. I was busy.
You guys, I checked out on the Broncos for the last 3 months. So,
but
it's just me on the hot seat.
I'll be back.
No, you both are on.
No, we're on the hot seat.
I'm throwing her on too.
Yeah.
And there's a point to this. It's not to make you guys need excuses about why you don't know these names.
No, I just wanted to confirm that I don't know
perfect.
what's going on.
So we're going to go starting right tackle first.
Okay,
I'm going to give you 3 names.
Okay.
Tell me which one it is. We're going to go David Ward, Christian Delario, or Edward Gilbert. Who is the Broncos starting right tackle today?
These are Madden-generated draft names.
Gilbert.
You're going Edward Gilbert?
Sure.
I'm going Delario.
It is Christian Delaro.
Let's go.
A second-year player out of Illinois. Let's go left tackle.
Okay.
I hate this
Who
game.
was the Broncos' left tackle? Was it Donald Justin?
That's not a real person.
That's not a real.
Was it Isaiah Prince? Or was it John Richardson?
Isaiah Prince.
Okay.
What was the first guy's name? Donald Justin?
Yep.
I'll go with him.
You'll go with Don. I don't even know if that was his name because it's not him. Alexis. Isaiah Prince.
That was just a lucky guess.
Impressive. And the reason that I say those is the past couple of years, we knew who the Broncos swing tackle was. Calvin Anderson, Cam Fleming, those who it was last year. Now, the Broncos do have Cam Fleming, but he's still making his way back. He was kind of off to the side field. I think it wasn't injury related. Now, this is speculation. I think it was more so just conditioning, getting that up. But Cam Fleming would have probably been the left tackle there. But, I mean, these are the guys that were protecting Russell Wilson today. And you have Zach Allen, Frank Clark, Randy Gregory going after him. So, to be fair,
I was going to say, I think you buried the lead. I think this is more important than Russell Wilson struggling.
No, because the reason is because Mike McGlinchey has a personal reason why he's missing. So he's going to be back. I don't know if it's tomorrow or the next day. And then the other thing is Garrett Bowles he could play today, but they're just taking it slow.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those guys being out is a story because of them. I'm saying those guys being out, when your bookend tackles are 2 people that I've never heard of, I'm not blaming the quarterback for having a bad day.
I mean, but you didn't see individual drills either.
True.
Like, I mean, they're not backing up. They're pulling in the far net because he's unable to reach it a few times.
And same with individuals where individuals unguarded, where pretty much every deep throw I saw, the receiver had to turn around or slow down in order to get the passes. And the pass to Jerry Jeudy, the one I talked about where it was so off, that was a catch and throw. I mean, there was no pressure in his face.
Okay, well, I have to ask this stuff because it's the same thing that the people are thinking.
Of course.
the people. My people.
Me and my people.
Maybe Russ didn't feel comfortable because he knew that those were his tackles too, though.
Yeah.
So that's a fair point.
I couldn't even re-say their names to you right now after you just told them.
Isaiah Prince.
Isaiah Prince and
Don't have the other one. No.
Christian
Delorio.
Deloro. Dilauro.
Deloro. Christian Deloro.
Christian Deloro. So it's Dre's cousin? Yeah, probably.
3, Illinois.
Good news. on the injury
We
front.
need some good news.
Javonte Williams out there again, looking
Wild.
great, doing everything that you would ask a running back to do.
Yep.
How do you think he looks, Alexis?
I think he looks far better than I thought he was going to look at this point this
crazy.
year. I mean, I loved him yesterday saying, hey, I prayed a lot and here I am. I'm back. I'm good. And the way that he's cutting, the way that he's moving, it seems like he's really trusting his knee, which I think I have to assume is probably the hardest part for anyone when they're coming back from significant injury, is just trusting that body part. And it does seem like he really is trusting it. And it was so cool too. The fans, that's why I love Broncos fans. They're just so smart and they're just so in tune with their team. I mean, he has a nice carry today and the whole crowd just erupts.
That's
right?
sick.
Because they know how huge he is for this team, for this offense this year. And he looks great.
That's awesome.
He does.
Speaking of the crowd, I have a question on that.
Okay.
What was it like?
It's weird.
I mean, it was cool to have fans there,
Totally.
but I mean, so much just space
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah.
To
Did you
sit.
feel like all 3,000 people who claimed their tickets showed up?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it felt
Well, that's
pretty packed for 3,000.
Okay. Did we get an announced attendance?
Probably 3,000.
Probably.
My guess is they're going to go away with those,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
there is the cap now. But you don't feel crazy energy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think I mean, I'm excited to see tomorrow because I think, what is it, Back Together Saturday?
Presented by Ticketmaster.
Yeah, presented by Ticketmaster. That's always a cool event. They have a lot of stuff out there for the kids. And I feel like sometimes the little ones on a Saturday really bring some energy and they're running around excited. It's different when you had training camp practices, last year, 7,000 people. And even, I mean, I think we were talking about the Peyton Manning days. I was like, remember when Peyton was out here? Man, that was
Crazy.
fun. Just a berm that's completely packed to the brim and there's no room. It's different, but it feels controlled. It feels methodical. It's like one other thing that probably Sean Payton's been able to get his hands on and just say, all right, guys, like we're going to cap it at 3,000 because I don't want that many people here. I wish there was a little bit more energy, but that's not because the people there didn't have energy.
Yeah.
It's just
Smaller.
a size problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give some shout
We've all
outs.
been there.
Okay.
Wow. Let's give some shout on the hot seat. Wow, I like that graphic you hear.
Sick, yeah.
Wow.
Someone that put someone on the hot seat today. Riley Moss had a I'd say a pretty damn good day.
Let's go.
Now he's going up against second team quarterbacks, third team quarterbacks. So he's playing with the backups still, but Riley Moss had a great pass breakup, so much contact, might have called a PI on the play, but I just love seeing Riley Moss first day of camp as a rookie being involved. He was also beat on a play that was the play of the day before that interception from Caden Sterns. It was a beautiful pass from Jared Stidham.
Yeah, Jared Stidham has just, I was surprised by him today. But Riley Moss, I met him this offseason and I was surprised by his ginormous ego and just how confident he was.
I had no
have
idea
to
where you're
say-
going with that.
You're like, what are you going to say? He was insanely confident, overconfident, to a point where I was kind of like, ooh, like cringed by him a little bit, just because I'm like, hey, like,
But that's a
you haven't played a single snap in the
kinda
NFL.
need
Like,
that.
pipe down. But it's funny because when I was out there today and I was watching him, I'm like, okay. So he knows his game. He knows what he's bringing. So I really like Riley Moss.
Yeah.
I initially all summer I was like, I don't think I'm a fan of that guy. I tend to be more of a fan of those humble stars, but. I mean, if the Pat Surtains of the world, man, Pat's my favorite. But if you're gonna back it up, I mean, all right,
Well,
sure.
and just corner is one of those positions
You have to
where,
have an ego.
You have to, at the very
Yes.
least, believe in yourself a lot. And a lot of times, there's a fine line between self-belief and cockiness.
Yep.
And I would rather a guy be cocky than, I don't know, say that they feel uncomfortable running backwards.
That would be an issue. Shout out Brendan Langley.
Yes.
But the throw, but Riley Moss was in great coverage.
Great
on
coverage.
that play.
Yep.
He was, I mean, almost
position.
perfect position, and it was a deep ball to Lil Jordan Humphrey, who did not make a little play. He made a big play.
He's not
on
little
it.
either.
Yeah, he's not little. Actually, he didn't necessarily make a great play. It was a perfect throw from Jarrett Stidham because the ball just dropped right over little Jordan Humphrey's shoulder.
Did you say Little Jordan?
Lil Jordan, that's his name.
But you're saying like Little Jordan?
Lil Jordan.
Lil Jordan.
It's like
Jordan.
Lil John. You know?
Lil Jordan.
Lil Zac Stevens.
Lil Zac Stevens.
I'll go with Mr. Humphrey.
Yeah, let's go.
With Mr. Humphrey.
Little numbies.
Lil Numbies.
It was the play of the
Boy,
day.
that's
It was
the-
stellar.
Um,
But it was stellar, like you said, because it was the pass, the
Yeah.
catch, the coverage, like
Yeah.
everything about it was perfect.
Yeah, and Jarrett Stidham was the better quarterback today,
Yep. I
can't-
as you've said.
I can't believe this is already starting on day one.
That's exactly what was going through my head. Like, come on. Come on.
No.
I think it was just nerves. I think we'll be talking about something else tomorrow.
Me too, but it's just like there's already a subsect of Broncos fans that like thinks Jarrett Stidham is going to be a starting quarterback by mid-season. And the fact that that group like got fodder on day one, I'm just like, oh boy, this is going to be like, I just hope we avoid the world in which people are chanting for Jarrett Stidham in like week 3.
Yeah, I'm worried about that too, especially
Because like no one was ever
Not
going to
today,
chant for
but-
Brett Rippon.
No, of course not.
He was like a very
God.
comfortable backup where it's just like no one ever thinks this guy's going to come in. It's different, but it's similar to why they like never kept Tim Tebow when they got Peyton Manning. Because
Yeah.
they're like, we're not doing this thing where Peyton has like a bad drive and people are chanting for Tebow. I'm worried about this with Stidham because he has hype. He threw for like 400 yards against the Niners last year.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is a Sean Payton guy, quote unquote. You know, he
Yeah.
was brought in.
I just remember a time when everybody was chanting for Drew Lock too, and we all
Yep.
know how that worked out. So don't get too chanty too early.
Locktober was a good time. Right?
God, October was good.
Also,
yeah.
I think Stidham is too hard to chant.
Stood up, stood up,
I rather-
stood up.
Jarrett.
I like
Jarrett.
one vowel. Russ. That's easier
Nah.
to me.
What
That's
number
what-
is he for?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a bad number.
There's like a soccer chant, right?
I don't know what number he is.
He's 4.
He's 4. Brett Rippon's number, my guy.
The only 4 I know, there's 2 4s. Rafa Marquez and the Jumping Salmon. Those are
I'm
the
thinking
only
of
two.
that Connor
Bring
Casey
Brett-
song they
bring
used to
Brett
sing,
back.
but instead of number 9, it's Jarrett Stidham, the Broncos number 4. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
You know, chants are hard in that stadium.
Oh, yeah.
So
We still
Yeah.
They know
we
how
never
to
got
count, though.
PS2.
no, not yet.
But
not
they know
yet.
how to count.
They
That's
do
what-
know how to count.
They know how to count. That's impressive. The Broncos just little news coming out about
now?
the Broncos that I want to tell you about after I tell you about our friends over at Backus and Schenker.
Wow.
You know, smash the 2 if you got to sue. Call our friends over at Backus and Schenker 222-2222. It's as easy as that, Alexis. ColoradoLaw.net. If you're in any sort of injury that you need help with, call Backus and Schenker, whether it's automobile, pedestrian, bicycle, bus, rideshare, whatever it is. Call our friends at Backus and Schenker. They've won over $1 billion. That is a lot of money.
That is
And
a lot of money.
you only pay them
Smash the
when you win your case. Call them for a free consultation. They work on your case for free. You only pay when they win you money. So check out our friends Backus and Schenker. Smash the 2.
222-2222.
She's a pro. She's got this. Backus and Schenker.
Got to sue smash the 2. Also, if you need a neon sign, which I told Yaya to leave our Buffs neon sign on the table
Oh,
today
yeah.
because Alexis and I, 2 CU grads, just
Go.
like the people who started Saturday Neon, 2 CU grads.
Good call taking it off you here.
And we have a sick Buffs neon sign. There's a little one here. There's a big one down in the bar on the wall. And these things are sick. So if you need to like get your man cave or your she shed all hooked up, then hit up our friends over at Saturday Neon. Use the code DNVR for 10% off your order. And all orders over $200 get free shipping. So hit up our friends over at Saturday Neon. They're Buffs, just like us.
Let's go. Are they completely custom? Like I could have them say anything?
Yeah, we actually have a DNVR bar one that we had downstairs custom made.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yes.
Zach, didn't
I'm
you have one for
intrigued.
your wedding too?
I did. I
See?
do.
What did it say?
I did do.
Yeah.
Now it's
What does it say? The
downstairs.
Stevens is?
No. It says
Little numbies.
it says it's always been you because it's like always been you, but also that's a Quinn lyric. Quinn 92, yeah, our guy.
It's
yeah.
always been you because
Oh,
you
do
guys
know
have been
Quinn?
together. Yeah, no.
Oh, dang.
I was about to be cool.
You guys have the buffs. I don't have anything with either
Yeah,
of you.
that's
Great.
tough.
Fun.
That's
we
yeah.
have
tough.
Broncos A to Z.
Yeah, we do.
We have
Always
the A to
that.
Z
Always.
couch
we'll
over there.
always have that.
Yeah, we got this couch.
Yep. And okay, yeah, we have the Buffs. It's a little better.
Yeah,
And
we have Dion. So
Yep.
We have some news.
I don't know who Dion is though.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to hold
Keep
everyone
calling
to the
him
same
Dion.
standard.
Yep.
It's
Coach
Coach Prime.
Sanders. No, Coach Sanders.
CP.
Deion
No, it's
Sanders.
Prime.
Only
It's
Coach
just
Prime.
Prime.
CP, that's Christian Parker. Not
Yeah.
Coach Prime.
When I was in college, Alexis was like the golden child of the journalism school.
I mean, I was just highly involved, hyper involved with everything.
All my teachers were like, "So Alexis did it this way." And so, like, I'm just wondering if you maybe want to like make it more like what she.
You're like, I
did-
don't
would
even
do."
know who that is. I hate her.
and
No,
you're like, no, I don't want to do it that way.
I was just a dork. Like I didn't have a ton of friends. I wasn't a sorority. I didn't party. I was just like the biggest loser that's ever come through. See you. But I just worked a ton, and it was fun.
Look where it got you.
Yeah.
Right here on
Right
this
here on
DNVR
this-
couch. Same place
All
as
roads
you.
lead to the couch.
I was gonna say it all leads here. So
There we go.
hey, at least you had probably a little more fun. But just covering bad athletics for 4 years was tough.
That's
So
true. Maybe
true.
they'll be good this year.
But it's about the friends you made along the way.
yeah,
So you talk about friends we've made along the way. We talk about how we're doing a podcast right here. Mm-hmm. Who else have we done a podcast with in this building?
James Palmer,
Terrell
Terrell Davis.
Someone that could play football now.
Steve Atwater.
Shelby Harris.
Shelby Harris. He was in Denver today.
Oh,
In the Broncos facility, having a workout with them.
come on.
Interesting.
It makes so much sense. And sometimes there's those moves where you're like, well, that makes too much sense. And then there's moves that you're like, yeah, that makes so much sense. It's got to happen. This is one, the minute Innie was suspended, it's like they need a starting defensive lineman, at least a depth guy. Shelby Harris is that guy. He's available right now because the Seahawks paid Draymond Jones
Yep.
$18 million a season. It's not like Shelby doesn't have it anymore. And 96, that number's open right now.
Shelby
well, I
Harris.
guess it could be open. And that's Shelby Harris.
Best hands in the league.
Yeah.
Amen. I'm so in on this. It's not even funny.
Yeah, bring him back.
I mean, at this point, are we talking a Vetman deal?
It is almost August right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine he'd be able to negotiate anything else.
To me, whatever you got to do, like you want to bring him in, you want to get him on this team. He has familiarity with the guys. He also has familiarity with Vance Joseph. This is, I mean, just a copy and paste. Don't even think about it. Write the check. Don't let him leave today.
And you know who the Broncos' starting defensive line was today? I guess I don't know if we're allowed to say starting defensive line. We know DJ Jones is getting paid a lot.
Yep.
We know Zach Allen is wreaking havoc out there.
Yep.
Also
And
getting
then
paid a lot.
There's kind of a open spot for that third spot. Could Shelby Harris compete with, say, Jonathan Harris?
100%.
Yeah. And maybe Jonathan Harris wins that. Maybe Matt Henningsen steps up and wins that.
Yeah.
But Shelby Harris
is winning that job.
He's in the top
Yeah.
6, though, at least, right? Like, he's making this squad. Maybe if he's lost something, he's still got the best hands in the league.
I don't think he's lost anything.
He's still a guy that you at least want in on third down to bat passes down.
I mean, he's been a starter in the league for what, the last 4 years?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he started for the Seahawks last year.
Yes.
So it's not like, oh yeah, he's a year removed from, playing well for the Broncos. No.
Yeah.
He's a good player. And Zach, you know who else is really good at batting down passes?
Zach Allen.
Zach Allen. You put both of those guys out there, and I think we said it early in the offseason, like call it the SWAT team.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Exactly. So that's something that should happen.
100%.
So we're going to keep our eyes out for that. Maybe Shelby Harris is on the field
What
tomorrow
is-
for the Broncos.
Okay, I'm seeing Shelby should be
One
back.
stipulation. If he signs with the Broncos, he has to admit that the RK special is good.
I'm going to love the off the field stuff with Shelby. You remember his
yeah.
interview with our guy, James Palmer, after the Seahawks beat the Broncos last year? Remember how he ended that?
Yes.
Did he say let's ride?
Oh, he said, let's ride.
"Let's ride."
Oh, he said, let's. He loved it. And understandably so.
He's just a fun guy, man.
Oh, he's
That
a
was week
very fun
one.
guy.
That
That's
was week
why.
one.
That's why it'd be a blast to have him back and get his comments, kind of perspective on that. He was one of the only winning people in that trade so far.
Yep. Also, I can't wait to talk to him about Jokic being better than Giannis now.
Oh yeah, just
Lots to
he's
catch up on.
Such a Milwaukee fan.
Yes.
Yep.
Of all things.
Yep.
What was I just gonna say about Shelby Harris? Damn, I lost it. right out of my brain. Sorry, Oppenheimer.
You're
in my
probably
brain.
going to say how excited you are for his podcast with Brandon Cristal to return.
Oh, no, I was actually, you know what? Thank you for saying the word
I'm not
podcast.
quite sure it went anywhere, Ryan.
I feel like, I don't know how close him and Alex Singleton are, but I talked to Alex today, and he's down to come on the pod. He's down to probably do a pod. He hates you, by the way, Alex Singleton.
Good.
Yeah,
we
that's
like to hear that. We
I think
like
he
to
hates
hear that.
Hank.
I think he hates Hank more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Than everyone else. But yeah, no, he actually just genuinely loves everyone, and he's just giving everybody a tough time. But
We love
I will
Alex.
say, how cool would it be to do a pod, Alex and Shelby? Like, I don't know two guys who are more like off the cuff
Yeah.
and just say exactly what's on their mind.
That's true. We got to get Alex back on here once, like,
Guy's a legend.
Sean Payton opens
So in like
the door.
7 years.
And speaking of Sean, wait, really quick though. Speaking of Alexis.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of Alex Singleton. Alexis is not just going to be on the podcast with us. She's cranking out so much awesome content over on DNVR Sports YouTube, over on DNVR_Broncos on
Yeah.
Twitter. We've already got mini pieces out from Alexis on there, so you're going to want to go check that out. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because that's where a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff is. Go to Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and follow
Don't call it that.
DNVR_Broncos for all the news because we come to you at 2:30 every day. If you really want that instant recap before we really get deep in, we're going to have that 30 minutes up on those places before or right after practice ends. So make sure to check them out.
I'm out there sweating for you guys. So at least tune in and watch the content,
And-
please, for the love of God.
Why Alex Singleton is you talked to him today.
Yeah,
and
I
we've got
did.
that up on YouTube.
Ooh.
There
I
was
thinking,
there was a whole part that we had to take out. We spent like 5 minutes talking about Invisalign. Like, so I have Invisalign, and of course,
Never
I
would've known.
never.
Yeah,
Well,
couldn't
they're
see
not
it.
in. They're not in.
Oh, okay.
This is my problem because I never wear my
Oh,
trays.
that is a problem.
And
They're
Alex
really
Singleton is like psychotic about it. Like he doesn't take them out ever. And so now he's like, "Oh yeah, you got to put your Invisalign trays in. Like, why aren't you wearing them?" I'm like,
Wow.
"I don't know, because I'm gonna slur at you the entire time I'm interviewing you. What do you mean?"
Did he have his in?
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
It's just
annoying.
his mouth guard
It's
at
just
this
his,
point.
No, it really is. So I'm like, all right. That was a plug for Invisalign. I know they're not a sponsor. But
Yeah.
We'll try to
they
get them
better,
on.
We'll send them an invoice.
We'll send them in. Yeah, $3,000. Thank you.
It's sad that Alex Singleton hates me because I was thinking about my rankings of players' jerseys who I would get, and he's number one for me.
Now he's number 53.
Yeah, probably gonna
Damn.
Wow.
probably gonna have to drop him down.
Way
Damn.
down.
Actually, I think I'm gonna get Christian DeLoro.
Oh.
before I get-
No.
What number
loves
does he
you.
wear?
Oh man, he seems like a 68 to me.
You were so close.
What is he?
67.
Oh,
Yeah,
see?
yeah.
At least
Wow.
I can feel people's numbers. It's a talent I have. I was at least like my
See-
meter's pretty good.
No,
Yeah,
you
here.
can kind of get near people's numbers, not really get it.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Yeah.
very true. The reason that he didn't choose 69, like you hear was hinting at, was because Ryan obviously knows that's Mike McGlinchey.
Of course.
Come on, you hear? He
Yep.
knows that.
I feel like
Yeah.
McGlinchey's a bad 69.
No, he's a great 69.
He fits its. I mean, he's also got the. I feel like 69 is an old school number. I don't know why. I've just always felt like that in my life. It's
been around forever, yeah.
It really has. But he also has that bar down the middle of his face mask,
Yep.
which is like the most old school
Yeah.
thing. You don't see any players have that.
I
Yep.
like that.
And so he does that. Sean Payton also did something yesterday. Bombshell interview, threw Nathaniel Hackett under the bus, through the entire coaching staff last year under the bus, blasted the New York Jets. Also went after many people that are still working in the organization, including mentioning George Payton, the president of the team, ownership. I mean, PR. He went after everyone except for Russell Wilson. We broke it down for over an hour and a half yesterday. Today, the first time that we get to talk to Sean Payton after that. And Alexis, what did he do?
It was the most iconic back pedal I've ever seen. Ever. It was, I think he was probably shocked by the reaction. of everyone yesterday, but there's no way that you can be shocked. Like when you're going to
Especially
call
because
out,
you understand media.
you understand media,
Right,
And
you're
he
in
did
it.
say that his Fox hat was on when he did that interview, not his
Such a
Broncos hat.
Bullshit cop
And
out.
that
Really
he
quick,
had
his Fox hat was on in the Denver Broncos headquarters.
Yeah.
in his,
Yeah, where he
his
did this.
office with a big title on the
Yeah.
outside says head coach.
head coach.
Overlooking the field.
Yeah, he said that he had 2 lattes before and just got on the call and just started yammering. And
2 lattes.
lattes.
It gets crazy after
Actually,
a latte.
some of my friends call Coors Lights a latte.
That's very true.
I told Zach, I'm like, that's me after a couple cold brews or like 1 cold brew. I'm like buzzing. So I
Oh.
get it. I get what he's saying, but it was nice. He said it was a mistake. He said it was something that he really regrets. And I mean, at the end of the day, you know, he's the leader of this team. He's the leader of he's not just a head coach. He is the Denver Broncos at this point. And for him to come out and say something like that, I think even when he's able to kind of, you know, 30,000 foot perspective, I think he was probably a little bit appalled by his own statements. I understand the side of him trying to, you know, support Russ and kind of buy into Russ, because if he doesn't, like, I mean, that's not good. You can't send Russ into week 1 without, you know, publicly supporting him in some facet. But yeah, it was nice to hear him say that eventually he will call Nathaniel Hackett and that time has to be right. But I think Nate deserves an apology, because it's not like, I mean, he was Russell, you know.
Is Nathaniel picking up the phone?
Yeah, he's
really?
a really
I'd
nice
be
guy.
like,
He'll answer the phone.
screen. He is the nicest guy in the world.
He is the nicest guy.
God.
It doesn't mean that the nicest guy in the world is going to pick up the phone to someone who just said the most damning thing, just absolutely took the biggest shot at you that someone could take in the most public fashion ever.
Yeah, but I want to hear that person apologize to me. For me personally.
So interesting.
really quick.
Interesting.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, really quick, because you said the word apology. Sean Payton didn't say the word apology today.
Yeah.
You're right. He did say mistake. He did say he regretted it. And
He didn't say I apologize.
he did not say I apologize.
well, that's something he would say to the actual person that
Yeah.
he offended or besmirked. Okay.
Well, wait. Then, just because you said that, he was also asked about George Payton, who he's mentioned not by name but said GM. He did not apologize to George Payton in these public comments. He did not apologize to anyone from the He didn't say the word apology to anyone, not just Nathaniel Hackett or Robert Saleh or the New York Jets, not to anyone, at least publicly today.
Okay. So here's my take. I don't buy the backtracking one little bit. I don't think that he had a big realization and he didn't know it was going to go so viral and he ended up feeling so bad. I don't believe any of it. I think that he knows that because of his position and his standing, he probably had to apologize or whatever you will call what he did today. But it was all very, very intentional. And he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew it was going to go viral. And to me, he knows enough about this to where if it came out of his mouth and then an hour later he said, shit, I shouldn't have said that, he could have called Jarrett Bell and said, hey, man, I hate to do this to you, but I don't think I would really appreciate it if you didn't print that.
I'll give you a lot of other things in the future.
Do you think he saw the article before it was posted?
No, I don't think like Jarrett Bell is like a true serious journalist. Those guys don't send their stories over for approval to their subject. But Sean Payton could have called him and said, hey, please don't print that.
Okay.
I shouldn't have said all that. And I've literally had that happen to me with players before too. Like someone, gets a little too riled up after a game or they say something about one of their teammates or whatever. And then you get a text later on being like, hey, I shouldn't have said that. I would really appreciate if you didn't run with that. And if you ever want to have a good relationship with that person moving forward, you do them a favor and you don't print it. So Sean Payton, I would assume, did not do that. And I think he knew what he was doing. And he also knows, okay, well, the next step for me is to go up there and say, I shouldn't have said all that.
So here's my theory. Who is above Sean Payton in this organization? Is there anyone?
Greg
Penner.
Yeah, there's one person. Greg Carey, that combo of ownership. There's only one person that can tell Sean Payton what you did is not okay. So my theory is those people saw this article and they said, Sean, we're going to let you do whatever the hell you want. But can you not do this? Like, you get to do 99.9% of things.
Yeah.
But not this. Look, your general managers in the room next. He probably heard this interview as it was going and it was just melting in his couch. Like, oh my gosh, this is awful. And then throw the entire organization, because I talked to a lot of people in the organization. That did not hit well with the organization. Yes, as it shouldn't have, because there's still so many people from that staff last year that are here. And so Greg Penner, this isn't his first time running an organization, let alone a massive organization. He knows kind of the limits that can be pushed even by the top people in your company. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Is someone gave him a call. Greg Penner gave him a call and said, "You crossed the line. We need to. You need to come out and take accountability for this."
Probably.
The thing that stands out most to me, I think, is Sean Payton. From the minute he arrived in Denver, was like, I mean, obviously it was a big story, and there was, all the lights, camera, action on the Broncos for a minute. But the whole storyline with him all year long has been, I just want to fly under the radar. We haven't won games. We haven't proven to anybody anything. It's made it seem like he was this whole offseason and everything surround, training camp, minicamp, everything. They were going to be really quiet. We didn't get to hear from the, free agent signings. We didn't get to hear from the rookies. Like, there were just things that they really shut the doors to the Denver Broncos, and I felt like they were going to just fly under the radar until they started winning games. And I feel like this completely contradicts what I felt like his approach was to the entire offseason and training camp and everything else. Hey, fewer eyes on us, that's actually a good thing. We're going to sit here, we're going to, nose to the grindstone, put our heads down, pick up our lunch pails, go to work, and just try to win football games. And I just think to make these statements was just so against and just the opposite of what I thought he was trying to do. And I just wonder, like you said, like, how do you not pick up the call or pick up the phone and call and say, hey, like, that latte was a triple shot, and I'm so sorry, but like, I had 2 of them, so I have like 6 shots of, espresso in me. Like, I don't know how you don't make that call and say, hey, that completely contradicts how I wanted to approach this year, and I'd really appreciate if you didn't run that.
I drank too much. Coffee is a wild excuse or something.
I think he had to be kidding, right?
Yeah. I've heard I drank too much. Sorry. I've never heard I drank too much coffee. Sorry.
And we have a lot of TVs on in the bar right now. As it's open, you can come hang out. Oh. And as we were having this conversation, who was on the TV? Sean Payton. And Alexis, you nailed it. And Sean Payton's response to this today, he talked about that. He said he got up in front of the team and said, I told you guys not to do anything that I just did.
Yep.
And then I stepped in it myself. So that's on me.
That is the part that I think might not have hit him until yesterday.
Yeah.
And you were talking about that a little, Alexis, of like, well, maybe he just realized he didn't think it was going to go that viral. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe as it was blowing up and his name was on the front page of every sports, website in the country, and every,
Stephen A had something to say.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a Bleacher Report graphic and a DNVR graphic and an ESPN graphic. And I just wonder if then he was like, oh shit, I told all of these guys to not make headlines.
Yep.
And then I just stole all the headlines for an entire day.
On the first day of camp.
On the first day of camp. I can see him not realizing that mistake until afterwards.
It's a very fair point, and something that he had to realize. And what I lost my train of thought too.
Well, I was just gonna say, nothing feels worse than when you ask someone not to do something and then you accidentally make the same mistake.
It's that self-shame. He's probably self-shaming a little bit. Go ahead.
So an interesting thing though, now that we're talking about like maybe didn't mean to or went a little too far something. Everyone that knows anything about Sean Payton, mostly a ton of national people yesterday, came out after that story dropped and said, nothing is unintentional with Sean Payton. And then Sean Payton kind of walking back these comments today calls into question everything they said. Or was this also part of the plan? Because like you said, Ryan, those screenshots are out there. That article's never going
Yeah.
away. What he said is never going away. He still gets his point out.
I think we could all think that Sean Payton is like this super methodical person and he thinks out everything. And he's so strategic and blah, blah. Like, also, like sometimes people just like fuck up,
And
you know, and they just say more than they wanted to
Yeah.
say. Like we've all been there, whether in a friend group or on air or whatever it is. Sometimes you just say too much, made a mistake. How many times have you gone home, you lay down and you're just like, oh my God. Usually it's after drinking, but it's like, oh my God, the anxiety of like, what did I even say? You wake up the next day. What did I say? How did people take that?
Yeah.
What's going to be the reaction? Like maybe he just said too much and he actually legitimately does regret it. And it's not this like, oh, like this is so intentional, you know?
Wait, Alexis, how good did that feel?
Which part?
Dropping an F-bomb.
Oh, I know.
This morning she was like, I'm just worried about dropping a cuss word or something. I was like, no, that's okay.
Encouraged.
You can do that.
Actually, James Palmer didn't have the balls to do it. So
Wow.
It's unfortunate. Like this is a very clean. Like unfortunately, I'm trying to be better. I tend to curse like a truck driver because I've just worked in sports for so long. It's kind of who we all are off air, and so I'm like, okay, as long as I don't curse on air. And Zach's like, no, please drop a bomb. And
Yeah.
I'm like, so thank you. I appreciate you pointing out my first real
It
bomb.
and it was great.
Thank
It
you.
hit
It was
well.
perfectly placed.
for a long time, I tried to avoid saying the F word on our show.
Yeah.
And then we like talk so much about being authentic, and I'm like,
Dennis.
as soon as the camera's off, I say the F word like every 5 words. I won't do
Yeah.
it that much, but I'm gonna talk like myself, and that's why I said all-time earmuffs.
I'm still too scarred after having to give an apology for
'Cause
when
of
Brandon
Brandon?
Spano dropped an F-bomb or two on one of our pods.
That's why we drop like one every day now, so no one can say they weren't ready for it.
Yeah,
Well, that's a good
Dennis,
point.
chill. Just chill, Dennis. Wow, the F-bomb. Like
was-
you've never said it.
Wow. Speaking of people in our comment section, Cody. We know Cody is just,
Legend.
he is the legend for getting
that's my
us
friend.
likes. Also, Chris Sims killed it, as he says. But Cody, the
Chris
legend of
Sims.
getting us likes. He's been the champion of getting us likes for this. Let's get to at least 200 on this live
What are we at,
show.
142?
I said 200 was, kind of a pathetic ask. Like you were,
Wow.
like yesterday, you were like, can we just get to 200? Ryan, let's step it up. We got almost 500 on yesterday's show. So the people did step it up. So let's do that again today.
It's my first day on the pod.
Right,
by
right.
the end of the show.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
first day
Yeah.
of the pod for Alexis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be rude to not get to 200 likes.
Exactly.
Man,
We got
that
to
even
way
seems
more
like
likes
a
on
low
Twitter.
bar now.
I know. We got to 200 likes on Twitter like
Oh, instantly.
That was crazy.
5
Instantly.
minutes.
People
I
love
know.
you.
No, I just
I woke up to
I just
that.
think
I was
they like me more than Hank is the thing.
Oh,
Damn.
well, it's because you're not a Chiefs fan.
Easy bar to clear.
You don't
Easy
like the Chiefs. You know what else people like? Saturday Neon. We already
Broncos.
talked about him.
Yeah.
Oh, you already gave a shout out to him,
Yeah.
which means
Who else do
you
they like?
fucked up earlier. And if these F-bombs are a little too bright for you, make sure you're wearing Shady Rays, and you can get 2 or more pairs for 50% off by using the code DNVR over at ShadyRays.com. You're going to get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Over 250,000 people like them. Alexis, I think, likes them. We like them. We've all got our stamp of approval on them, so give them a check or check them out over at ShadyRays.com. Use that promo code DNVR for 50% off 2 or more pairs
That's
of the
fair.
best sunglasses.
Oh.
You
Shady
actually
Rays.
might need them if you turn your Saturday Neon sign to full blast.
Boom.
That's a good point.
You need your Shady
I
Rays.
feel like I need them in here. These lights are not bright. You know?
Yeah.
You're
You're used to it.
yeah, this is like your home.
Yeah. All
These
of the
lights are
lights.
less bright than the ones in the Broncos studio.
Those are bright, and those are yeah, they're intense. They
Shout
did
out.
nothing for me.
Shout out Broncos beat back in the day.
Gosh, that was an OG crew right there
was.
too. Remember when like Doug Ottawell would jump on with us every now and
that
then?
was fun.
Love Doug.
Yep.
We might have we might in the future be recreating that. Not the show, but the people that were on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good.
Should we just call it Broncos Beat?
Well, it's going to be on this show.
Broncos DNVR Beat?
Maybe.
Broncos of the round table.
Round table.
Oh, that
night?
sounds nightly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nightly.
The nightly.
It's the Riders
With
of
a
the
K.
Broncos, but it's about like Let's Ride, like the Riders
Oh,
of the
yeah,
Broncos.
we're not.
No,
That's how you
more
do it.
references
Let's
to
ride.
Ryder.
right.
Let's write.
Let's
The only
roll.
reference we can have is the beginning of the show with the how back is Russ.
How back is Russ? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Unlimited.
Oh man, I can't believe Dangerous is that picture, man. That's like his hippie days, man.
No, that's his Prince face.
That's good.
Like Isaiah Prince.
Oh yes.
A player who I know.
I thought you were gonna say it's his future face.
No.
Oh, okay.
His future phase is hopefully him being good.
You know, his son's name is Future.
Yeah, I was thinking more about the rapper.
Yeah.
His
Like,
stepson.
It's his stepson. Yeah,
No,
I was
that's-
referring to
Yeah.
referring to both.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Also, my favorite F-bomb that Zach ever dropped, we made it into a clip where Henry's like, Jaquil McMillan, and Zach's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
What were we talking about?
He's like the
biggest
biggest takeaways of the
storyline.
Jaquan McMillan was your biggest takeaway. And
No,
what-
that was Henry's
That was
biggest
back of the roster,
takeaway.
Hank.
And I
What is he-
thought that's why I dropped an F-bomb. I was like, are you kidding me?
But what was
Hank
your
likes to
biggest
dig.
takeaway from the offseason? And Henry goes, probably Jaquan McMillan.
And then I just cut to Zach and Zach's like, you gotta be kidding me.
That was awesome.
The people
All
want
right.
to talk to Alexis. Shall we jump
Hi,
in the comment? We
guys.
got a
If
super
you ask-
chat coming in from One-Eyed Jax. What were you gonna say, Ryan?
I was going to say, if, we still need more likes. So get
Yes,
'em
we
popped.
do need more likes. He says, I had to rewind just to check. Can't believe we didn't get a Studio A where the A stands for Alexis. We love you, Alexis.
Henry killed that. It's
Yeah,
dead. It's
yeah,
over.
He did. He did.
It's
He
over.
was rude, and I'll never let him live it down.
And you're not actually kidding.
And I hope every time the show starts, he feels a little bit of guilt.
So when you guys were gone last week and he hosted, every time he'd come in and he'd be like, I don't know how I'm starting this. I can't say in the A stands for.
Yeah.
He would come in and he'd like have a little bit of social anxiety and
Yep.
a little bit like, how am I gonna get this started?
It'd be a good bit if he actually used it
It
when
would.
he hosted.
That would've been good.
Yeah,
That would've been
yeah,
funny.
it
That
would
would've
have
been good.
Also, I love how if anyone's ever here for not here for one day,
Yeah.
people are like, are they still on this show? Yes,
Yeah.
Henry still works for us. We didn't fire him
Yeah.
yet.
We got rid of him. That
Yeah.
McMillan take was too bad. We just couldn't do it anymore.
Don't worry,
literally,
if-
Hank
if-
was out there today.
Yeah, if we ever fire anyone, we're gonna put a graphic out there.
yeah.
We're gonna make it very well known that they're gone.
It's gonna be like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna like use like a what do you call that? Like a spotlight to put
Yeah.
their name in
Yeah.
the sky and a graphic and make that cannon sound.
I
Yeah,
like that.
And then it's gonna explode, and all the reasons of why they were a bad employee are gonna be like
Wow.
just floating down.
Keep an
Yeah.
eye for
We-
the Twitter account today on Broncos. I'm gonna be
I
making
feel
notes.
like
Oh my god.
I feel like we could like Photoshop their face on the atomic bomb.
Oh my
that
God.
was
Oh,
Oppenheimer,
wow.
and like
Oh, yeah.
just watch it like get pulled up there, you know?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
just
True.
like in the
Hank's more of a
silence.
Barbie guy. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a historian.
He does love history.
He's
I
like
did
a
wear
historian.
pink
yeah.
today. I don't know. Did you guys see Oppenheimer? It was fantastic.
Did you see Barbie?
No.
I
You
haven't
di-
seen a
you didn't
movie.
Go, you didn't go full Barbieheimer?
No, I love Margot Robbie. She's my girl crush. I mean, Ryan Gosling. Oh, yes. But like, no.
Okay.
I
Wow,
just- maybe
I've
I
heard-
know
You're
you
being
were.
a
I've heard
little
good
rude
things.
to a movie that got like a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I know. I tend to be like all the things that have like a 10 on Rotten Tomatoes are like my favorite movies ever, and then the 90s are like. Eh.
Well then,
Wow.
well,
Oppenheimer was
I bet
fantastic.
Oppenheimer was
No,
like
you haven't seen it?
No, not yet.
Oh my god. I mean,
I haven't
buckle
seen a
up.
movie in theaters since I was in college.
Buckle up, because like that 3 hours. I saw guys. How dumb am I? I went to the movies at 10:30 p.m.
Oh
after
my goodness.
2 workouts and playing a round of golf.
That
And
is.
you survived?
I fell asleep.
Yeah, I was.
My friend would like wake me up like when something was about to happen. He's like, "This is actually a really important part." And I'm like,
This is the second time today that someone has told me that exact story word for word on a podcast.
"You have to go see the matinee."
Andre had the exact same experience. 10:30. He went to a 10:30 showing
Were you guys at the same theater?
and was falling
Maybe.
asleep, and so Eric was waking him up during the movie.
I'm not kidding. Like, if somebody wants to go, put it in the comment section. I'll go with you, but we have to go at like the 10:30, 11 a.m.
I feel like your
yeah.
fit would work perfectly.
Yeah, for
Just roll
Barbie.
over to the theater right now.
Yeah, I know. I definitely, when I left the house today, I was like, really? Like, we're going to wear like pink and white out to Broncos today? I'm like, yeah, you know what?
So I mean,
First
you,
day back.
you wanted a
Do whatever I
nickname,
want.
or you wanted a title. Are you the Barbie Bronco?
Oh.
Bronco Barbie?
No.
No.
Yeah.
It got a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
No.
not
like
gonna do it.
overly, I'm extremely feminine, but like no overly girly nicknames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one
That's
today
fair.
walking out, but we can't repeat that one.
No, we can't. Yeah. That was your name, by the way, that you came up with.
with
Yes.
it, and it was terrible.
Yes, I did not
If
repeat
you
it.
ask me,
Yeah.
I'll DM
No.
it to you, but I'm not going to say it on air.
Don't go into Alexis's DMs, please.
Don't go. Actually, yeah, scratch that.
Shall we
What
go
else?
into the comment section, though?
Yes.
Yes.
Howie Boot My Boomer says, boys, Epic Pod. Sorry, RK. Javonte Williams is not a miracle. He's an alien. Aliens are real.
We
Shocked
already have the
y'all
alien.
didn't talk about the Congress hearing confirming their existence. Only aliens can regenerate so quickly. It all makes sense.
I don't.
But you're right, we did have the
I
alien.
went
I
back
agree.
and watched that whole thing about the aliens. I don't think it really confirms aliens.
You went and watched a congressional
It was on
forum?
TikTok.
Oh, okay. Well,
So it was like broken down into like,
Yeah, exactly.
okay,
you were watching C-SPAN?
No.
60
okay.
seconds
Yeah,
of
I don't
C-SPAN.
think they have that on Fubo. C-SPAN.
No,
Yeah, I have no
I
idea.
don't
Probably
think so.
not.
No, I've never looked for C-SPAN in my life.
I probably agree that Javonte's a little bit of an alien because like this is
He's a miracle.
wild. He didn't just like hurt his knee. He blew it up. Like there's no like I like how what he say? Oh, the doctor said if it was just a little worse, like I could have been out longer. I'm like, what do you mean just a little worse?
Yes.
You literally injured every piece
Part of the knee.
of the knee.
He's like, if my knee would have fallen off,
He's
then
like,
it
if
would
I
have been
would
a
have
little
lost
bit
my
longer.
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
wild, man.
I agree. He's an alien.
It is nuts. Arvada Luke says, I think Sean Payton's move was even more big-brained than we're giving him credit for. Speaking of aliens, all we've talked about as fans for the last 6 or 7 years is trying to figure out what has gone so terribly wrong with what is undoubtedly the flagship sports franchise of this town. Is it the coach? Is it the roster? Is it the quarterback? Is it the GM? Sean is getting the fans back on track. We can go back to the expectation of winning and going to the playoffs and winning there. He just told us, the fans, that the clown car is empty, and he personally dropped that clown car off at the dump. Colorado sports culture is undergoing an evolution. We have coaches who create a vision that a team believes in and executes. We have 2 parades to show for it. 3. Oh, no, this past 2 years, yes. And I think we're about to have even a ton more. I have been loving the hate. Hater on the Nuggets, the Broncos, the Buffs. It only adds to the sweetness of our inevitable victory. Thanks to the Chiefs are not to be feared any longer.
This is what. Remember when I said yesterday, like Sean Payton's an asshole, but everyone loves that.
Yeah.
This is like what happens.
Yeah.
Like you're just like an asshole for a day, and everyone's like, "This guy, he's a genius."
You know what it boils down to, and I hate to say it. It's the words of Al Davis. Just win, baby.
Yeah,
Just
you didn't
one,
have to
baby.
quote him. You could have just said it.
Ew.
Like, you could have just quoted yourself.
Wasn't that him, though?
No, you could
Yeah,
just say
like
you
he
just
made
could've-
it
You could have
famous.
just said like, winning solves everything, or like there's just like another way to word it.
Yeah.
Just like Sean Payton could
Unfortunately,
have worded.
that, like fits so well though.
So now we got Hank's the Chiefs guy. You're the Raiders guy. Alexis and I are the only ones who are.
Loyal.
no,
We don't have a stain on our
yeah,
resume.
Just literally
not
said,
even
DJ
true.
Khaled said it best. Just win, baby, win, and that
But
would have worked too.
All I
just
do,
said the
but
literal-
he didn't say
all I
just
do is
win.
No, he does say that too, though. Like,
But in that,
Does he?
the literally preceding lyric is Al Davis said it best.
yeah, so we don't care about that. So you just say, you admit that. And you're like, DJ Khaled. It's like the Michael Scott quoting himself.
Oh,
I would just-
yeah.
Quoting Michael Jordan, that kind of stuff.
When he was Wayne Gretzky, right?
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
what it
know.
boils down to. When people are gonna love Sean Payton even more. This is gonna be swaggy, Sean.
Oh yeah.
But okay, what if they don't win? Then what? Like then
Swaggy
what is
Pete.
this?
It could be
It's gonna be explosive, is what it is. That's what I would call it.
explosive, but it could be even worse because it was easy to blow Nathaniel Hackett out. It's not as easy to blow Sean Payton out.
Kind of like Russell Wilson.
Exactly.
It's easy to get rid of Drew Lock and
Yeah.
Case Keenum and Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
And now we're stuck with Russ, and we're definitely stuck with Sean Payton. But that's what I mean. It's going to be explosive. Like, just the vitriol will be off the chain.
I think.
I just hope we don't. I hope we never know.
It's like, never mind.
But for what it's worth, biggest takeaway from that entire conversation was just never quote Al Davis ever again in our presence.
I think there's only one quote that he's ever said
Yeah,
that anyone
just
remembers.
win,
so-
baby.
Just win, baby. Yeah.
Definitely not.
No, he's never said anything
If
about.
anyone said anything to Mark Davis
Mark's-
about his haircut, it would probably be rescued.
Oh,
But he has no one to tell him no.
I'll tell him no.
Please.
I hope to see him on the sidelines this year.
Oh, so you want to see him on the sidelines now? Apparently, you're a Raiders
Just
fan.
no, I
Nope.
don't want to. I want to tell him that his haircut is trash.
Yeah.
Good. We need
There's a
RG around to
difference.
get that.
Yeah.
That would be
Yep.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
The count says, this one's for Hank. He says, yeah, we're just going to skip it since it's for Hank. But he
Sorry.
says, No, it's just all for Hank. He talks about Montana, too. So Arvada Luke says, sorry, guys, I just can't stop thinking about this. When Coach Prime, he's referring to Deion Sanders, came in, he gave a whole speech about how the team was going to be held to a higher standard and that they had been letting down the fans, parents, everyone. Sean Payton just did the same thing. And the same people are probably clutching pearls on hurt feelings here, too. Football is not about everyone feeling good. I don't care if Hackett got his feelings torched. He's still collecting checks signed by the Penners that are probably bigger than the one he'll ever see. We're about to see some accountability. I, for one, am super tired of imagining glimmers of hope and then getting crushed every season. If you want someone that makes someone feel great and no one has to take an L, that's Taylor Swift's job, not Sean Payton's.
I don't really like comparisons between Coach Prime and anyone because I just don't. I think he's incomparable.
In a league of his own.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will say this: Coach Prime. One thing that I love that I've never seen from another coach.
Don't feed that.
Is he walked into a 1-11 team. This should be considered a rebuild, right? And he said, "We're not winning later. We're winning now." And I don't want anyone to think that you have any sort of leash because we're taking over a program in shambles that, we can win later. No, we are winning now. And that's exactly what Sean Payton did here when he said, I'm going to be pissed if this team doesn't make the playoffs. So respect to him for that because he does have a leash and he could have played that card. He could have played the, hey, look, we're coming into a difficult situation. They've had 6 straight losing seasons. Let's just take things one step at a time. He didn't do that. He said, I'm going to be pissed if we don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that takes balls. So I give him credit for that quote for sure.
I like Sean.
2 lattes or not?
2 lattes, 1 latte, 3 latte. I wonder what 3 latte Sean's like.
Oh, man. That probably goes late night.
Just go cold brew. You probably get as much caffeine as 3 lattes.
Yeah.
Lattes taste good, though.
A lot of milk.
We're getting
Music's
there.
hitting,
Okay,
right.
2 more quick questions. Jersey Broncos says, boys, glad to have the boys back, but I still love the second squad that filled in. I always love me some Andre, even if we would never agree on how to properly pronounce ricotta cheese. Can you guys say that word for me?
Ricotta?
He says ricotta.
Well, that's probably right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
Is he Italian?
I take him for it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ricotta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andre Simone. Also, congratulations, Zach. Now that Peyton seems to have finally backed Russ, I am back on the hype train. I'm ready to be heard again. Oh, no. Lastly, thank you, Coach Peyton, for putting my Jets fan wife in a very good mood yesterday. Much love from Jersey.
Wow. All right.
Final one. Nash Bronco. New Jersey Bronco. Party Foul is a good... Oh, we're getting some Nashville recommendations.
Crossovers.
Party Foul is a good hot chicken spot, but Prince's is the original and the best.
But it's not in town. You have to go out of town for it.
Nash Bronco
At least that's
saying
what-
you gave a bad rec.
Well, I'm just saying when I was there, I wanted to go to Prince's, and then I put it in the Airbnb or in the Uber, and it was like $38 Uber, 42-minute ride. I was like, whoa, what are we doing here?
You got to pay to have the best.
And I just went to Party Foul again.
Oh, well, fair. He says, other great places to eat in Nashville, Martin's Barbecue, Pinewood, Red-Headed Stranger, and the Loveless Cafe, just to name a few. Things to do. The Trace Parkway.
You don't have to go through all the recommendations for your Nashville.
Hope this helps.
Yes, there we
So
go.
you can check out the comment section.
Oh, man.
We made
17
it.
short of 200.
Wow, guys.
Disappointing.
That
I
really
know
is
there's
disappointing.
17 of you who could very easily hit that thumbs up right now.
Yep.
Like it.
It is very true. And also, podcast, 5-star review, subscribe. Alexis, you going to be back?
I will be back.
We didn't scare you away.
No.
It wasn't awful.
Are we doing this tomorrow?
We're doing it tomorrow. You joining?
Sure.
Right
There you
on.
go.
Let's go.
There you go. I will not be here for that, but I will be back at the bar later. UFC is on.
Ooh.
Actually, what time are you guys doing the show around this time?
Yep.
It'll probably be getting started by the time you guys are done. So let's just have a night
Boom.
betting on fighting at the
Have a
DNVR
night.
bar.
Boom.
That sounds fun.
All right.
Don't
We love
threaten me with
betting.
a good
We'll see you
time.
guys there too.